lately, I've been talking about meditation. Meditation is analogous to a cow chewing the cud. And you see, you can hear the word, but if you run off after you hear what you're hearing tonight, and let's say God's introducing you to the talk about intimacy, and you know you are, that's who God was talking about. And you know God has your name written on it. The truth of the matter of it is, watch, all of us can be closer to God than we are. That's transparency. That's vulnerability. Nobody is at the total level that they need to be at. And watch, you have a great word prophesied over you, okay? So God want to use you in a great way? Too much is given, much is required. Your level of intimacy for you may be way greater than the level you're demonstrating right now with God. Because why? You got ministry now, so you're busy. So you're administrator now rather than minister to the Lord. What you do in a church service, like now, you wanted to stay. Watch. You wanted to stay. You wanted the band to keep playing. You wanted to talk about the presence of God. God is here. But look, in some sense, you better be glad God didn't come down stronger. Why? Because numbers of times God came down, like, for example, he told the children of Israel, don't you tell those people, they better not come close to that mountain. Because if they come close to that mountain, he said, I will consume them. That's the presence of God. Watch. When the Ark of the Covenant was touched the wrong way, that is a picture of the presence of God. Killed right away. Look, when the Holy Spirit was outpoured and Ananias and Sapphira came, in the presence of God and the men of God, what? Most of them got killed. You got to understand that if God comes, remember now, God is holy. And there are things he's been dealing with you about. He could just say, okay, I've told you, you're unreprovable. I couldn't correct you. So I didn't come down to change you. I came down to say, that's it. I'm not going to tell you anymore. I'm saying to you that we don't hear enough about the foundation doctrines of Hebrews 6, 1 and 2. Read the last 4 verses of Hebrews 5, 11 through 15, I believe it is. It says something like this: while you should be teachers, you have need that someone teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God. In other words, you've heard it, but you didn't chew on nothing. You didn't sit down and look. And if God has fed you the food of the eternal realm, then you take that food that you've gotten in your spirit and you offer it back to God in prayer. You ask God to make it become your reality because you are what you eat. And so you meditate. That's meditation. In meditation, the food assimilates into you. And so therefore, you begin to be a manifestation of the revelation that you've received. And therefore, you exercise it not just in your talk, but in your walk with God. It's not for somebody else. That's for you. You don't want to keep saying, I heard this message, and you have not adhered to it. Do you know that faith, by definition, has in it the assumption of obedience? Did you hear that? James 2, I have to go there. I'm not going there. But James 2, if you say you have faith and have not works, what? What does it say? You're dead. So the assumption in faith is that you have a walk that matches what you declare as your reality. But what's the interim process? Meditation. Meditation. Almost none of you will eat a full meal and stuff yourself and then go out jogging. Why? Because what will happen? You'll regurgitate it. Could it be possible that you got full of revelation and went out into activity before the food had a chance to assimilate in you? This is reality, people. This is not just a conference. This is training. This is a transformation. It's not just a conference. It is a call of God on your life. And then that what you need for commission, I don't know if I do, I should have some teachings back there called consecration. What am I dealing with? You're saved from hell, but you're living underneath the level of your birthright. That's consecration. The premise that precedes consecration is meditation. You don't need another house. You don't need another car. You don't need, you understand, your retirement straight. All you need is another level of your union with God in the closet of total surrender. God himself is your security. The person of his reality. You have to have that. Your confidence is in the reality of your intimacy with God. He says, watch, his word, it is spirit. You meditate on the word until the word becomes your reality.